Core Yoga today. My name is Erica and I'm with UMBC Recreation. If you are new to this class, it is loosely vinyasa based if you are familiar with yoga. If you're not, what that means is that you'll notice there's a flow-like movement to our poses. There's repetitiveness to the movement, and we often tie the movement in with our breath. So I'll be cueing you to inhale and exhale almost as much as I'm cueing you in and out of poses. It helps to keep your focus on yourself. And that is one of the main parts of yoga. It's not just about what we're doing in our body physically, it's about what's going on in the inside and a time for self-reflection as well. It's structured much like other exercise classes. We start slow with the warm-up, we build up speed, build heat in the body, and then we end with the cool down. If this is your first time to yoga, I do like to point out that at the end of our practice, we lay on our back flat in a final resting period where we stay still with our eyes closed for about 2 to 3 minutes. And like I was just saying, it's part of the practice where we are focusing on the self-reflection. I encourage you to stick with it. I know 2 to 3 minutes can seem like an eternity, especially if you've never tried before, but I do encourage you to continue with that part of the practice if you are here with me today. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body, take breaks if you need. This class is meant to be challenging. And then you can jump back in whenever you're ready, and always check with your doctor before you start a new exercise plan. Today, we're gonna start laying down flat on our back. So start sitting in the center of your mat with your feet facing forward. And place your hands on the back side of your thighs and ease yourself down until you're flat on your back. And some options with the hands here. You can place one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Help bringing some awareness to yourself. Or arms can be out wide at your side, palms face out, helping to open the front of the chest. Tuck your chin slightly in towards your chest. I'm going to take a few breaths here. Deepening the breath just a little bit. Just hanging heavy onto your mat, letting everything go. If you're still deepening your breath, resume your natural pattern of breathing. And separate your feet until they're mat width distance apart. If your arms are not already out at your sides, palms face up, go ahead and place them that way now. Then nice and slow, let your knees fall to the right. They don't have to touch all the way down to the floor, whatever's comfortable for your body. Slowly draw the knees back to center, up towards the ceiling. Then let them fall over to the left. And I want you to keep repeating this movement nice and slow. Take your time. We're going to hang out here for a little bit, starting to loosen up the hips, adding a little twist for the core. Then start to add your head and your neck into the movement. As knees fall to one side, head turns and looks out over opposite shoulder. Do this a few times, moving the head. We'll hang out here for another 10 to 15 seconds or so. Start to slow down, find stillness with your feet flat to the mat, knees bent, and head looking up towards the ceiling. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, interlacing the fingers, holding below the knee, and extend the left leg onto the mat into wind relieving posture, flexing both feet. If you're feeling any discomfort on the knee, you can hold on to the back of the thigh instead. The leg on the mat is nice and engaged, foot is flexed, leg is pressing into the floor, low back is pressing into the floor. And release the leg onto the mat. Bend both knees again, planting feet onto the floor. Right leg extends up towards the ceiling, holding onto back of thigh, pressing out through the heel. So if the leg feels pretty tight here, you can keep a slight bend in the knee. There's no need to extend the leg completely. Take a few breaths wherever is comfortable, relieving the back side of the leg, stiffness in the legs. And point through the toes, feeling the stretch maybe down the front of the shin. And return to the foot flex, pressing out through heel. If your leg is fully extended and you want a little more sensation, try extending the left leg as well. Foot stays flexed and it's pressing into the mat. Then everyone, let your leg, the raised leg, fall out towards the right. And you can use your hands to prop the leg up in a position that's comfortable for you as we stretch the inner thigh. So as far as the leg goes down towards the floor is totally up to you. Use your hand as a prop. Take a few breaths here. Opening up the hip here too. Bring the leg back up towards the ceiling. Press your low belly into the floor. Press belly button in towards the spine. Let go of the leg and nice and slowly lower the leg down to the mat. Slow and controlled to engage your core. Low back presses to the floor. Draw the left knee in towards your chest, wind relieving posture, holding below the knee, flexing the foot, drawing thigh close to body. Take a few breaths here. Release the leg, returning it to the mat, and both knees bend, feet plant on the floor. Extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, press out through the heel. Take a few breaths here. And start to press through the toes. And return to a flexed foot. If you did so on the opposite side, go ahead and straighten the right leg onto the mat. It's completely optional, that leg can stay bent. And then with the raised leg, we'll let it fall out towards the left, using our arm as a prop to hold the leg up. And we'll breathe here. Lift the leg back up towards the ceiling. Press low back and belly to floor. Let go of the leg and slowly, with control, lower it back down to the mat, warming up our core. Draw both knees in towards the chest and give them a squeeze, holding below the knees, feet side by side. Nice stretch for the low back here, decompressing the spine. Now place the hands on the back side of the thighs. Start to rock forwards and backwards. We're rocking ourselves up to seated. Gain some momentum and rock yourself up. Sitting in a comfortable position facing the front of your mat. If cross legs are not comfortable for you, maybe take a loose diamond shape with the bottoms of the feet together. However, you can sit with your sits bones grounded into the floor, finding length through the spine and relaxing shoulders down the back. Take your right hand out to the side, placing the fingertips down to the floor. A nice long line from shoulder down to fingertip. With your opposite hand, so left hand comes over and holds on to the opposite side of the head, guiding us into a neck stretch. Keeping the spine nice and long, the core slightly engaged, drawing in towards the body. If hand on the head is creating a little too much sensation, just drop the hand away. Lift the head through center and relax the extended arm. Switching sides, so left hand extends, fingertips to mat. Find the length through the spine. Nice length from shoulder down to the fingertips. Free hand comes up and over, holds on to the left side of the head. And release, relaxing arms comfortably at your sides. Start to round the spine, drop your chin to your chest, draw belly in towards the body. Then starting with the tailbone, start to lift and arch the spine, nice and slow, opening up the chest, letting the chin lift from the chest last, tilting head up to ceiling. Tailbone leads the way as we round the spine, dropping chin back to chest and drawing belly in. Few more times, drawing the breath in through the nose as you lift and arch. Exhaling out through the mouth as you round the spine, chin to chest. One more time. Deep breath in as we lift and arch the spine. Exhale as we round, chin to chest. Then lengthen the spine back into your seated position. Rock forward into tabletop, coming into the hands and the knees stacked under hips and wrists stacked under shoulders. Turn your fingertips out to face the long edges of your mat and gently rock side to side as we start to loosen up the wrist. So we take a lot of planks in this class to engage our core. If you have sensitive wrists, there's an option to take planks on your fists, so no worries there. Now turn the fingertips towards the knees. If this is already creating a lot of sensation, walk the knees in a little closer to the body, and we'll gently rock forwards and backwards. Listen to your body, be nice and careful, don't push yourself too hard. All bodies are different. If you walk the knees in closer to the body, walk them back out, and we'll turn our fingertips forward and start to make some circles. Stick with one direction for now. And reverse direction. Settle down into stillness. Take the right hand, just wring out the wrist a bit, and do the same with the left. And return to tabletop. Lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your right leg behind you. Point through the toes, heel in line with hip. Draw the belly in to help flatten the back. Gaze is down towards the mat, and we'll hold here for about 10 seconds. Still warming up the core here. Give me a tabletop crunch, drawing the right knee in towards the chest. Round the spine, lift away from the floor. Lift the knee as high as you can. Draw the belly in towards the spine as much as you can. Then step or place the foot into lunge, ankle right below the knee. Draw the breath in through the nose, lifting right arm up to ceiling, into twist, keeping right foot flat to mat. Exhale out through the mouth, fingertips come down to the floor. Deep breath in, lifts the arm up towards the ceiling, drawing belly in, find the twist in the belly. Exhale, fingertips come down to floor. Last time, deep breath in, arm up. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Slowly lift both arms out in front, up overhead, and hold here. Finding length on both sides of the body. Melting shoulders away from the ears. If you'd like maybe a little challenge for your balance, try tucking left toes onto the mat and lifting that knee into the air, pressing out through the left heel. Totally optional. If the knee is lifted, drop the knee down, uncurl the toes. Everyone bring fingertips back down to the mat. Extend the right leg long behind you, pointing through the toes, and return to a tabletop position. Left leg extends, heel in line with hip, flatten the back, gaze down towards the floor. Breathe here for the next 10 seconds or so. Tabletop crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, lift the knee high, draw the belly, lift away from the mat, hold here, don't hold the breath. Step or place the foot into lunge, ankle below knee. Draw breath in through the nose, lift left arm up to the ceiling, into twist. Exhale out through the mouth, fingertips to floor. Inhale, breath in, arm up. Exhale. Last time, arm lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, fingertips return to floor. Slowly lift both arms overhead, hold here. Relax shoulders away from ears. If you challenge yourself on the opposite side, we'll tuck right toes onto the mat, lift that knee into the air, core is engaged. If the knee is lifted, we'll lower down to mat, uncurl the toes. Everyone exhale, bring fingertips down to floor. Extend the forward leg long behind you. Point through the toes and return to a tabletop position. Lower into puppy pose, or child's pose, excuse me, bringing hips all the way down to the heels, extending arms down the mat, resting forehead to mat. Keep the toes touching, but separate the knees, make some space for your belly. And we'll finish our warm-up here with a few moments of stillness. Bring your focus to your breath. You are welcome to come to this rest position at any time during the class. You don't have to wait for me to cue so, and then you can hop back in whenever you're ready if you're feeling a little tired. If this pose is not comfortable in your hips or your knees, try puppy pose, starting in tabletop, dropping elbows to mat, letting head relax. Either will do. Another 2 or 3 deep breaths here. On your next inhale, rise back to a tabletop position. Lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes. Give me a tabletop crunch, knee to chest around the spine, draw belly in, step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat. Lifting up to pointer and middle finger, lifting the knee off the mat, sending chest forward, drawing belly in. Stepping up to half lift, feet step together, hips width distance apart, hands to shins, back is parallel to floor, shoulders draw away from the ears, core is engaged. Lower to forward fold, gently bend the knees, hinge from the hips to drop belly down towards the thighs, arms and crown of head reach to floor. Take a few breaths here, there's a lot going on in this pose. If your belly is very far from the thighs, bend your knees a little bit more. Draw low belly in, lengthen through the spine, out through crown of head. Weight is heavily in the balls of the feet, but heels stay pressed to the floor. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, and one vertebrae at a time, start to round your spine up to a standing position. Chin comes up from the chest last. Take your time, relax shoulders down the back, stand nice and tall. Give me a deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms out at your sides, up overhead, gaze is up overhead. Exhale out through the mouth, lowering arms down by your sides. So we're gonna take a quick time out here. We're gonna jump into the bulk of our practice, but before we do so, I'm gonna demo our plank sequence for the week. Every week there's a new sequence, so I'm gonna demo first and then we'll tie it into our practice together. As I promised, many planks today. So we're gonna start in a plank position. If the wrists are sensitive, you can take planks on your fist with thumbs facing one another. Plank position, even if you've done it 1,000 times, heels are in line with hips, are in line with shoulders. Whole body's engaged, shoulders, core, thighs, everything's turned on. I always give a countdown, something like we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna hold for 2, 3, 4, lower to forearm plank, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do that twice. So we're gonna come down again, and then we're gonna hold the last one for a count of 5, lower down to our belly, and we'll move on from there. So we're gonna keep it simple today, but it probably won't feel simple in your body. We're gonna start at the top of our mat, feet or hips width distance apart. Stand nice and tall with purpose at the front of your mat. Relax shoulders away from ears, palms are face forward. Slowly lift both arms overhead, gaze up to the ceiling. Lower to forward fold, bringing hands together, lowering them down through heart center, hinging forward at the hips, gently bending the knees, dropping belly to thighs, arms and head reach towards the floor. Rise, half lift, hands to shins, back is flat. Step into a plank position, bending the knees so you can step back into plank. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Hold here, 2, 3, 4. Low plank, 2, 3, 4. High plank, 2, 3, 4. Low plank, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. Lower all the way down to the belly, tops of feet to mat, hands under shins, elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Press your hip points and your belly into the mat, or draw your belly in towards your spine, lifting to baby cobra, lifting from the chest. Shoulders wrap behind the heart, and press to your rest position, child's pose, hips to heels. Deep breath or two here. On your next inhale, rising back to a tabletop position on the hands and the knees, lifting up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes. Tabletop crunch, knee to chest, around the spine, hold it here, don't hold the breath. Step or place the foot into lunge. Lift up to pointer and middle finger. Tuck left toes onto mat, lift that knee into the air, draw belly in. Step up to half lift, feet hips width distance apart, hands to shins, back is flat. Lower to forward fold, dropping belly to thighs, arms and head hang heavy. Tuck your chin in towards your chest and start to round the spine up to a standing position. Once you make it all the way up, stand nice and tall with purpose at your mat. Slowly lift both arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling. Lower to forward fold, bend the knees, drop belly to thighs. Rise half lift, flatten your back. Step back into a plank position and drop the knees to tabletop. If you want a challenge for your tabletop crunches, try them here on out with your hands flat to mat. You'll have to lift away from the mat more, draw the belly in more, but maybe you'll like the challenge. So lifting up to the tips of your fingers if you're still doing that version, and extending, your left leg behind you. Point through the toes, flatten the back. Exhale to tabletop crunch for 1, lift the knee high. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. 2, inhale to extend. Exhale, draw the belly in towards the body, then step or place the foot into lunge. Right knee lifts off the mat, lifting up to pointer and middle finger, bringing your hands to your thigh and extending the arms overhead, holding here. Left knee is stacked over the ankle, roll the ball of the right foot, hips are square towards the front of the mat. Try to remove the curve from your low back by tucking the ribs in, keeping the upper chest open. Nice, slow, and controlled, engaging the core. We're going to start to lower our chest down towards our forward thigh, sending our arms behind us, humble warrior-like. Gaze to the floor, then using the core, we're going to lift back up, lifting arms overhead. You don't have to lower down that low at all, especially if you're struggling with balance. Let's try one more time as you exhale, bringing chest down, sending the arms behind you. Hips stay square towards the front of the mat, lifting the arms back overhead. Let's give that forward leg a break. Open a 5-pointed star, turning towards the right side of the mat. Feet are flat, lowering arms down to shoulder height. Bring your hands to your hips, planting your feet firmly onto the mat, pressing firmly into inner and outer ball, inner and outer heel. Gently press down on your hips to find length through your spine. Take a deep breath or two here. Then hinge forward from the hips, bringing your fingertips down to the floor. You can bend the knees if you need to. Find length through the spine, leading with the chest. Walk the fingertips a few inches forward, lengthening the spine. Heels stay on the floor. Relaxing the head, looking between the legs. Few breaths here. Lift the head so you can look forward, walk the fingertips back in a little closer towards the body, and walk into lunge position. Left foot turns forward, hands frame the forward foot, right heel lifts off the mat. Step back into your plank position and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Hold here, 2, 3, 4. Lower down, 2, 3, 4. Raise up, 2, 3, 4. Lower down, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Lower all the way down to mat. Tops of feet to mat, hands under shoulders. Press hip points into floor. Deep breath in, baby cobra, chest lifts. Exhale to your rest position, child's pose, forehead to mat. Deep breath in and out. Use your next inhale to rise to a tabletop position. Preparing for tabletop crunch, lift up to tips of fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes. Knee to chest, round the spine, and and step or place the foot into lunge. Step up to half lift, lifting the knee off the mat, hands to shins. Lower to fold, belly drops down towards the thighs. And we'll nice and slowly round our spines up to a standing position. Once you're standing up, take a deep breath in, lift arms overhead, gaze is up. Exhale nice and slowly out through the mouth, lowering to forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift, flattening the back. Exhale as you step back into a plank position and drop your knees down to tabletop. Lift up to the tips of your fingers, extend your right leg behind you. Exhale, tabletop crunch, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch, then step or place the foot into lunge. Left knee lifts off the mat, send the chest forward, draw belly in, bring hands to thigh and extend arms overhead, high lunge. Hips are square towards the front of the mat. Tuck the ribs in just a bit. On your next exhale, we'll lower the chest down, send the arms behind us. Try to go slow and controlled. We're strengthening our legs, strengthening our core. Inhale to bring arms back overhead. Last time, exhaling, falling forward. Inhaling, arms up. Open a 5-pointed star. Left side of the mat, lowering arms down to shoulder height, feet are faced forward. Bring your hands to your hips, plant your feet firmly. Find some length through your spine. Take a breath or two here. Hinge forward from the hips, bringing fingertips down to the floor. Remember, you can bend the knees if the legs feel tight. Then we'll walk the fingertips a few inches forward, lengthen the spine, gaze between the legs. Walk the fingertips closer in towards the body and walk back to lunge. Right foot turns forward, hands frame the foot, left heel lifts off the mat. Step back into your plank position and we'll take our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Low plank, 2, 3, 4. High plank, 2, 3, 4. Low plank, 2, 3, 4. Hold it here and lower. All the way down, hands under shoulders, deep breath in, baby cobra, chest lifts. Exhale to child's pose. I'll take a little bit of time here. Bring your focus back to your breath, the rate of your heart. Breathe in deeply to the sides of your body, the back side of your body. And on your next inhale, rise back to a tabletop position, lifting up to the tips of the fingers. Right leg extends behind you. Tabletop crunch, knee to chest, right into lunge. Foot plants on the mat. Inhale as you step up to half lift, hands to shins. Exhale as you lower to forward folds, belly to thighs. Try to draw your inhale out as you slowly round the spine up to standing. Then exhale at the top. Take one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. Gaze down towards your floor. Take another few rounds of breath here. Just being present in the moment. Lower your arms down at your sides, lift your chin from your chest. Deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms out at your sides, up overhead, gaze is up. Exhale out through the mouth, lowering arms down back at your sides. 2 more times, nice deep breaths to lift the arms overhead. Slow movement, even deeper breath, gaze up. Exhale out the mouth, lowering arms down at your sides. Last time, deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Bring your hands to your hips and fall into forward fold, bending the knees, dropping belly to thighs, letting arms fall down, roll down to the floor. Take a few breaths here, drawing the low belly in. Maybe gently swaying from side to side, using the core to find the sway. Maybe slowing down the movement into stillness, then shaking the head yes and no a few times, relaxing the neck. Deep breath in as you rise, half lift. Exhale as you step back into plank. We'll take our last sequence in 3, 2, 1. Hold here, 2, 3, 4. Low plank, 2, 3, 4. High plank, 2, 3, 4. Low plank, 2, 3, 4. Hold here. We're going to hold the last one for 15 seconds. If you're completely pooped, you're more than welcome to lower down to your belly now. We're all getting there, but we only have another 5, 4, 3, 2, and release all the way down to the belly. Bring your chest down, your face down. Turn your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. Bring big toes to touch. Let heels fall away from one another. Arms are along the sides of the body, palms face up. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth and melt onto your mat. Just hang out here. Maybe gently close the eyes as we're slowing down our movement, closing out our practice. Wiggle the shoulders away from the ears. Make some space for your neck. Gently turn your head to the opposite side, taking another few rounds of breath here. Bring your chin to the mat, place your hands underneath your shoulders and press into child's pose once again. If you'd like to try a rounded variation, a different variation of child's pose, bring the arms along the sides of the body, palms face up to sky, and let the shoulders roll down towards the floor. Nice and slowly rise back to tabletop. Swing your feet off to one side of the mat. Let the hips come down to the floor in a seated position with the legs extended forward. Bend the right knee, placing your foot on the mat. With your left arm, grab a hold of the bent knee and open into spinal twist, twisting from the belly, placing your free hand directly behind you, finding length through the spine, gazing out over right shoulder. Left foot is flexed, pressing into the floor. Getting a nice stretch for our core as we keep our spines happy and healthy. And giving a little massage to our organs as well. Getting some fresh blood to the area. Deep breath in through the nose as you exhale, unwind, face forward and straighten the leg. Left knee bends, holding on with the right arm, find length through the spine, open the twist, twisting from belly, free hand directly behind you, gazing out behind you. Right foot is flexed this time. Deep breath in through the nose as you exhale, unwind, straighten the leg, face forward. Bend bend both knees, planting your feet on the mat. If you're not sitting in the center of your mat, you moved around a bit, position yourself so you're directly sitting in the center. Place your hands on the back of your thighs. As if you've been punched, I want you to hollow your gut, press it in towards your spine with control. So we're engaging our core, we're rolling down onto our backs, one vertebrae at a time. Once you're all the way down, just relax. Straighten the legs onto the mat, let your arms hang heavy onto the mat. Take a few breaths here, maybe eyes closed. Hang as heavy as you can onto the floor. Draw the right knee into your chest for wind relieving posture, interlacing the fingers, holding below the knee, drawing thigh close to body, feet stay flexed. Gently tucking your chin in towards your chest. Pressing the extended leg into the mat. If you'd like a little more hip action here, draw the right knee out towards right armpit. Still drawing thigh close to body, just adding the hip into the equation a little bit more. Totally optional. Gently releasing the leg, returning it down the length of the mat. Drawing left knee in towards your chest, wind relieving posture, feet are flexed, thigh close to body. Drawing the knee out towards the armpit if you did so on the opposite side. Wind relieving posture is great for our digestive system, as the name suggests. On your next exhale, gently release, let your leg return to the mat. On your next inhale, draw both knees in towards the chest, interlacing fingers holding below the knee, feet side by side, thighs come close to the body once again. And if you're uncomfortable for the knees, you can hold on to back of thighs. Just holding here. Legs stay drawn in towards the body, but arms release out to the floor, palms face up at shoulder height. Let the knees fall to the right end to recline spinal twist, turning head to the left. If it's not quite comfortable for you to stack the knees, you can sort of stagger them, lower them away from the hands, and find some ease that way. Because this is our last pose before our final resting pose, I always encourage my students to close their eyes at this time and start to relax some muscles around the brow and unclench the jaw. You bring your focus to your breath. Slowly draw your knees back into the center of your chest, then let them fall over to the left as head turns to the right. And make any adjustment you need with your knees to make yourself more comfortable. Find a place you can hang out for a few rounds of breath. Draw the knees back into the center of your chest, holding below the knees or on the back side of the thighs. Slowly lift your head to meet your knees. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Squeeze the body nice and tight into a nice small ball, holding here. And as you exhale out through the mouth, let go so you can lay flat on the mat. Legs and arms spread as far apart as they can be. Toes fall away from each other. Palms are face up and eyes are closed. We'll settle in here for the next few moments. Take another deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale out through the mouth, melt onto your mat. Let everything go. Keep the focus on the breath. Following either the rise and the fall of the chest or of the belly. Letting every exhale relieve a little more tension from your body, allowing you to hang a little heavier onto the floor. If your focus has wandered, bring the attention back to the breath. Following the wave of inhales and exhales, how one seamlessly blends into the next. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bring movement back to your body. Taking your time, gently roll over to the right side of your body and then take a moment of stillness on your side. If your head or your neck is a little uncomfortable, you can use your arm to support it. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered to the floor, slowly press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. Taking your time, if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Just keep an ear open so you know where we're headed. As always, to end class, we take 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Today we're going to take a 4-count breath. We're going to break our inhale into 4 parts or 4 counts. We're going to break our exhale into 4 counts. If after the first round of breath, 4 counts comes easy to you, I encourage you to extend that count to a count of 5. It's okay if we are not synced up exactly. So that we're all together, we'll start on an exhale, releasing all the breath we have out of the body. Breathe in through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, mouth, 3, 2, and 1. Breath in, 2, 3, and 4. Breath out, 3, 2, 1. Breath in, 2, 3, 4, and breath out, 3, 2, and 1. Take a second to thank yourself, appreciate yourself for making this time for yourself today. I'd like to thank you for letting me lead you on this practice. There is a light that exists within me that honors and respects the light that exists within each and every one of you. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the class today. I hope it was a little challenging. If you did, there is a new version of this class that is aired every week. If you enjoy my teaching style, but you're looking for something a little easier on your body, not as challenging, I do teach a Vinyasa yoga class. So it's structured much like this. However, I cut out the core work and replace it with some more traditional yoga exercises. With that being said, I want to let you guys know we have lots of classes to offer, not just yoga. Try them all out, and I hope to see you guys next week. Super excited because we're going to be teaching in person soon. I cannot wait. I believe if everything is cleared, we're going to teach some outdoor classes next month, which is super exciting. I will definitely be there, and then hopefully for the fall semester, we'll be back in full force. Thanks again for joining me today, you guys. See you next time.